Tell them I'm ready for more. I'm ready for war. Tell them I'm ready for war.
We've reached the final week of the regular season. The Jets look to sweep the Bills for the first time since 2016. It's New York and Buffalo in Week 18. And the action heads your way next.
We are about 15 miles south of downtown Buffalo at Bills Stadium in Orchard Park. Today we've got an AFC East matchup between the New York Jets and the Buffalo Bills. And we are underway in Buffalo. And we will not get a run back here to start. It's a touchback, and it will come out to the 25. So now here comes the Jet offense as they get ready to take over. They're led by the number 2 overall pick in April's draft from BYU, the rookie Zach Wilson. And that's not the start that he was looking for, as he's going to be met and dropped behind the line. It'll go as a loss of a yard on the game's first play. Second down.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
On second down, another shot for Sermon. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for third down. Well, this defense for the Bills, they played extremely well last week in the win over Atlanta.
And as in any game, takeaways are always a big key. They're always discussed on defense. There's an emphasis there. And they came away with 3 interceptions in that game.
And he is going to have a Jets first down as they're able to convert on third and short yardage with a gain of 4. Defense had a chance to get off the field here in the opening drive, couldn't do it.
I know that we go into these meetings with coaches, and sometimes maybe we can get, a little bit numb because they're always going to talk about how important third down is, aren't they? Offense and defense. In this case, one capitalized, and the other, as you said, had a chance to get off the field and didn't get it done.
On second and 1, Wilson over the middle, complete. It's Cole. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. And I think Eifert may be in some pain. Staying down following that play. So first and 10 now in Buffalo territory at the 36. And this is certainly not what you want to see in the final week of the year. We'll be back. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down. And, Charles, despite this list of key inactives that we see here, they've obviously still been pretty successful.
Give everyone credit for this one, because to me, when that happens, key guys are out, the next man steps up and plays well, but that starts with the organization itself, all the way through. No excuses for guys being out. Finding guys who are capable backups who can step up and play when they need them. And we've seen the results of that. This team knows how to work through things.
Here comes the 7th play in this opening drive. They've moved it well, but here's third down. They'll try and run for the first with Sermon. And he's going to get the first down as they bring him down at the 23. If you make the stop there, maybe you hold them to 3 on this opening drive. They didn't get the stop.
Yeah, new set of downs now. Now you're worried about, just as you pointed out, not just giving up 3, possibly giving up 6. Let's see what they decide to do here, because they've got to change up what they have been doing. It hasn't been working.
And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down. Second and 5 now. Wilson. Wesco, the tight end, making the catch.
First drive of the game. We did see this in practice, didn't we? Because they allowed us to stay and watch and see what the opening script would be, even though we don't know the exact play calls. That looks a lot like what we saw them execute, doesn't it?
It really does. And in practice, it wasn't about a lot of big shots on that opening drive. They wanted to put together a series of plays, sustain it. They've done that. The defense now on their heels a little.
That they are. And you know what else is happening now? they're gaining information. They're gaining knowledge about how the defense is planning on playing them. So not only being successful on this drive, they're filing things away for future drives in this game.
49 yards rushing for him now in the ball game.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
On third down, here's Sermon. And did he break the plane? Yes, he did. Touchdown. Trey Sermon with a lucky number 13 touchdowns now on the year. And the Jets take the ball down the field and score on their opening drive. Well, first quarter, maybe too early to talk about statement drives, Charles, but that sure seemed like a statement drive right there.
Well, if we're going to talk about statement drives, I think what they're saying is we're going to establish the run. They gave it to him early and often on this drive, and he wound up taking it into the end zone.
Point after by Lambeau, up and good. And it's now a 7-0 game. And Lambeau now, after the touchdown, he'll kick this one away. Stevenson elects not to return it. It's a touchback. Out comes the offense for the Bills, led by their quarterback at 6'5". That's Josh Allen.
And he just continues to throw touchdown pass after touchdown pass, leading the league here down the final stretch of the year. Guys will say that the numbers and the rankings, they don't matter to him very much. But I don't know how much I actually believe that. Sure, he's team first, but I think everyone would like to see him finish number 1, including himself.
Allen and the Bills now with a 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Off play action. Allen flushed out right. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. He'll get 8 on the scramble there. It'll be 2nd and a couple.
Okay, he's not going to get the first down, but this is still a nice job of buying some time and then running to get to the sideline and get out of bounds and avoid the big hit.
Now with the play clock about to expire, we get a whistle and a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. Here's a 2nd and 2 now from the 33.
Tight end to the right, boy. Tight end to the right. Move. Everyone's go.
Play action. Now it's Allen. He's going to float this one deep right side. And that nearly an interception here on this opening drive, but he gets a reprieve. It's 3rd down.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored, you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off inside the 10. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. What a start defensively. Your offense goes out, gets the touchdown, and then you get the interception. Just perfect.
How about the discipline that they showed on defense? Because after the offense scored to go up 7-zip, you would think they might be a little extra aggressive trying to get back at them. Instead, they read their keys well. When they took the shot downfield, they were more than prepared for that one.
Play action. Now Wilson. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
A deep ball down that right sideline, and he made sure that he put it where either his guy was going to catch it or no one was.
3rd and 2, now Wilson. Now this is intercepted. He was trying to get it to Davis. Teron Johnson able to pick it, and he is going to score. It's a pick 6 and a Bills touchdown.
It goes without saying, but I'm going to say it anyway. That's a ball he would like to have back, and Atlanta
and good. So these teams match touchdowns here in the first quarter, and we're tied 7-7. So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick six. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. Returning from his end zone is Ty Johnson. And beyond the 20, but not by much. In fact, just a yard pass there to the 21. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. You know, in our research packet this week, prepping for the game, so many articles from the local beat writer about the offensive struggles of this team and what will they do this offseason. What do you think they'll do?
Well, number one, they'll turn to their self-scouting report. And every team that's any good does this. They have outside groups. Check out their team, scout them, and tell you who can play, who can't play, and reasons why. Some of it may just be health. They have to get some guys healthy and back out on the field. But overall, evaluate this squad and make the changes that you need to.
On second down, another shot for Sermon. And he's upended after a gain of 4 up to the 25-yard line. I think you mentioned in the opening drive that these guys needed to establish the run, protect the young QB. Actually broke that down, believe it or not. So how would you assess things so far?
I'm kind of touched that you actually wrote something like that down. I appreciate that, partner. But I do think they've been able to do that. Maybe not as effectively as they've wanted to, but I think we'll see more of as this game goes along because they want to continue to take care of that young QB.
They'll throw on first down with Wilson. Caught by his tight end, Wesco. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll make it second and a foot or so.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion and would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating.
And the Bills are going to get him as he goes down. The defense rising to the challenge and setting him back on the sack. So now Wilson and the Jets with a 3rd and long here following the sack. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. He'll leave that underneath to Sermon. And he gets this only to the 44-yard line. Not near enough to keep the drive alive. 5 yards, not enough, and it'll be 4th down. Now the Jets send on Braden Mann to punt. Jabril Peppers deep to receive. Amazing, perfectly placed. If that ball goes 1 extra yard, maybe not even an extra yard, the starting point is the 20.
So there is a reason that a lot of punters are also excellent golfers. They know distance control. You know what else they have? Same groove motion over and over. Once they have that down, it repeats under pressure.
Now the Georgia Southern man, it's Matt Breida. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Full to run show Fatukasi there on the tackle. On second down, a run with Breida. And a nice pickup as this one gets him to the 10-yard line. They'll try to pick this up on the ground with Breida. And able to get it across the 20 before they get to it. Another good run there. He's been good all season long. I don't know if he's going to win that MVP award, but just to be in the discussion, obviously that means he's had a great run.
The raw numbers put him in the discussion. Can he carry his team to enough victories? Can he put them in a spot where we say to ourselves, well, an MVP carries his team to the playoffs. That's what he's going to need in order to get that award.
And now they'll throw with Allen. Oh, hit as he throws there, incomplete. These two division rivals, a couple of late games on the schedule this year. Their first meeting, you might remember, was back in Week 10, and it was the Bills winning on the road, so they look for the sweep here in Buffalo. On play action, Allen sliding out of the pocket. Now on the run, he'll throw it back deep over the middle. Oh, you saw that one coming. It's intercepted. Throwing back across his body. Marcus May with a pick. And the Jets are going to get the football here as he gets this up to the 38-yard line. He exited the pocket trying to improvise. That was a tough throw, and unfortunately, it wound up in the wrong pair of hands.
And Brandon, when you're on the run, sometimes your downfield vision can get skewed just a bit. Now, the beauty of extending a play is sometimes your receivers find their way open, but oftentimes you end up closing down part of the field and bringing those defenders to the ball. And that one was picked off.
Pressure comes, and Wilson's going to go down. It looks like a 12-yard loss there on the first down sack.
They just gave up a sack there, and if I'm not mistaken, they gave up 4 last week, didn't they?
Yes. And just looking really porous, aren't they?
They really are, and I'm wondering if they're going to have to start thinking about keeping the tight end in, maybe a back, someone to help assist, because right now, the quarterback's been getting hit a lot in the last couple of games.
And he'll be taken down after a pickup of about 7 as the clock will stop here for the 2-minute warning. We've hit the 2-minute mark of the first half. All knotted up at 7. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
Just a 1-yard gain on the play, and that'll mean a call to the punt team as it's 4th down. Here's Braden Mann now as he'll kick it away for the second time. This is away and a very good kick, angled for the sidelines.
All day, baby, all day.
Buffalo set to get the football back here. To this point, the results have not been good. 2 possessions, 2 turnovers.
And that's obviously something that can't continue, but to go a little bit deeper on that one, I would think about some play calls now, not even necessarily to my best player, but to someone I can trust with the ball. Try and get things settled down a little bit.
Here we go, here we go.
Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. This is brought in by the tight end, Tommy Sweeney. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. First down, and they're going to throw with Allen. Flush to his right. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45. He'll wind up getting 9 after tucking it and running, so it'll leave him with 2nd and a yard. Allen. Eluding the pressure right. And this one taken in on the right sideline, but not in the field of play. They say it's incomplete. The throw led him a little too far. It brings up 3rd down.
As a former defender, I can feel their sigh of relief after that one, because when he breaks out of the pocket and you face a mobile quarterback, he causes all kind of problems in your secondary. They were able to force that incompletion.
Now it's Breida. And he'll bring this one inside the 35. Now the Bills will hustle to the line. On 2nd and 2, Allen. And he finds his man, that's Sweeney. And he takes this just a few yards shy of the red zone before going out. On first down, Allen. This ball complete to the tight end, Sweeney. And he's out of bounds. Almost gets to the 10. Back-to-back 11-yard gains, and they've got another first down. To the air, Allen. Escaping the pressure right. And that is caught. And he has now tied the record. Touchdown. So that really almost perfect drive as they chew up some clock and wind up scoring late in this first half.
And remember, they've got a chance to double dip here because they're going to get the ball first to start the 3rd quarter. So potentially could go up 2 scores before the other guys get a chance to do anything.
So 6 seconds, all that remains of this first half as the kick is away. This taken in at the goal line. And some good special teams coverage as they bring him down just outside of the 15. Well, The white flag coming out as they line up to kneel on it. All that remains is to snap this once, and that'll do it for the first half of play. So we've reached halftime here in Orchard Park, where the Bills taking the lead into the break. As we'll send you down to Orlando, we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. Welcome in, everyone, to our EA Sports Halftime Report. Let's get you caught up on what's going on around the NFL. We'll get started down at Hard Rock Stadium in Miami. And the Patriots have the lead in the final stages before halftime. Mac Jones has thrown a touchdown pass. From there, we head north to Minnesota. Check on the Vikings at home at US Bank Stadium. And they trail the visiting Chicago Bears.
And okay, so much for our halftime break. Apparently, we're going to get right back to it. Okay, Coach, thanks as always. This one's still anyone's game as we welcome you back for quarter number. And he will not bring it out. It's a touchback. And the Bills offense set to take over to begin quarter number 3. And, Charles, they've got the lead. I would imagine the overall halftime tone was a positive one, but what do you think the talking points were in the locker room?
Well, if there were 3 talking points at the half, partner, all of them were about turnovers because they were pretty loose with the ball. Otherwise, this lead could be even bigger. Now, I don't think that they overly harped on it, but I think they told them, guys, if you want to keep calling those plays that are exciting, you've got to take care of the ball. Otherwise, we may have to dial things back a little bit.
It'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31. They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31. Allen now looks to throw. Flushed out right. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds.
Looks to me, partner, like he's learned a little bit because earlier in the game, I think he was trying to force a lot of throws into his windows that just weren't open.
Yeah, the interceptions had plagued him, especially a second interception, really a bad throw. So maybe a better decision there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I think he learned from earlier in the game, and he's applying it now.
Yeah, this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
On 2nd and a yard, Allen. And he's got his man in stride, complete. 5th catch of the game for him there.
Yeah, and the tight end position is now becoming a volume pass catcher. It used to be occasional, right, safety valve. Throw one to him every so often, but mainly they want him out there to block. Nowadays, an integral part of the passing game, and they create such great mismatches that they often become the leading receiver.
They'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they can let a tackler through. But that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
Able to force him out of the pocket right, but still able to complete it. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Buffalo touchdown. Great play there. Touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Bulls will extend their lead. Tyler pass out for the point after. It's good, and it is now 21-7. So that drives 6 plays, 75 yards. And it culminates in a Bills touchdown. After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away. Johnson won't return this, and the football will come out to the 25. So here's the Jets offense now as they get ready for their first possession of the second half. And their deficit a little wider than it was at halftime. Does that touchdown a minute ago change the thinking here at all?
I think it does, at least a little bit, because now urgency has to start setting in. You can't go out there and go 3 and out and run the risk of falling behind substantially, but you have to do it without pressing, because pressing, that'll lead you into bigger errors.
The drive starts with a carry by Sermon. And a stiff arm made it a pretty little run. Not a huge gain, but a nice chunk of yardage. 64 yards rushing for him now to this point.
Partner, I remember a coaching friend of mine used to tell his running backs before games, make sure you run and jog with your offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking when those big behemoths start to create space for you up front. He did a pretty good job of just following those guys through there for a nice explosive run. This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
And he'll take it across midfield and into Buffalo territory. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him, so when you don't have to drop his shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there. So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football in that situation. That's almost a tendency breaker.
Sermon now on 1st and 10. And he'll maneuver his way forward for about 4. 2nd and 6.
Well, at the end of all that hitting and hollering, it was a 4-yard run, so the offense is going to go back to huddle and feel pretty good about themselves. Defensively, you have to feel okay because you didn't let it turn into a bigger run. But the goal, shut it down for 2 yards or less. That's when you start to feel good about yourselves.
2 yards the gain there, and now they're left with a 3rd and about 4 for a first.
Not too many offenses want to turn down long drives, but when you're down what they are, they've got to pay it off with some points.
Now it's Wilson. And they take him down. The Bills get to him. It's a loss of 10 on the sack, and it leads to 4th. Boy, Charles, that time he took a bad situation and made it worse.
Yeah, you're almost putting together a nice little song there, aren't you? Because it's something you'll see from young quarterbacks. They have that tendency to retreat backwards instead of stepping up in the pocket.
And problems spreading to the punt team now. This one goes all the way into the end zone on the fly, so that'll come back to the 20. Here's the Buffalo offense now as they get set to take over here. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, in fact, you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
Still 3rd quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they? I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes, but the best part for him, he's got 2nd and 3rd down to fall back on.
Second and 10. Breida, he'll try the right side. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he can get out of the backfield. They'll wind up losing 3. And now it's 3rd down.
Mike's 57, 57's run. Watch the run, watch the run. Hey, check Mike 57. Half 85, half 85. 57 to Mike.
So they fake the handoff. Now Allen. Flush to his right. On the run. He'll let this go deep right side. And that nearly the pick that they needed. He couldn't pull it in, though, and it's 4th down.
They've been trying and trying, but they haven't sacked him yet. He's been able to get away and make plays. Tried to make another one downfield right there, but to no avail. They'll have to keep up the pursuit, though, and not let him get hot.
Check Mike 39. I'll get him. Get him. 56. Hey, check Mike 39. Check Mike 39. Let him know.
So they're going for it, and here's Allen, eluding the pressure right. On the run, he'll let this go deep right side. And that one knocked away and incomplete.
Let's go.
Nice job defensively on what will be the final play of the third quarter. So following the failed try on fourth down, we'll change ends and change possession. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Here's a pass swung out left to his running back. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. The first down screen pass, good for 5. Looking to throw again on second down. Wilson. Out to Cole on the right side. And down inside the 10 here before he's out of bounds right around the 7. Give him a gain of 5 on the completion. And that'll bring up what looks to be a 3rd and inches. Can't be more than a half a foot. Wilson. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And the Jets are going to be set up with a 1st and goal as they get the conversion there on 3rd and inches. And in a 2-score game, obviously, every play, every 3rd down, like we saw there, magnified, big pickup.
It was a huge pickup. What they really want, though, is to not even get to 3rd down. They've got to maximize time and conserve as much as possible.
Sermon. And they will stop him after a fairly minimal pickup. It'll be a 3-yard pickup, and it brings up 2nd and goal.
Well, Brandon, we always know that once you score 1 touchdown, you're without a doubt. And so far today, he's got 1, but was denied as he tried to get the 2nd one.
Wilson hit. It's loose. It's out. Fumble. Now this is picked up by the Bills. And he's got daylight. It's a foot race. And he will take us across midfield and down to the 48-yard line.
Well, give some credit to the defense. They forced the big play, knocked the ball free from him, but that's a cardinal sin by the quarterback. Know where you are on the field, and he just gave up at a minimum 3 points.
And instead of getting down, takes the contact. The turnover ensues. Here's Allen following the fumble recovery. Escaping the pressure right. And he'll find Hall. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. Charles, you said the magic number was probably right around 20 for this defense because they're facing one of the top 5 offenses in the league in terms of points scored. They've had their moments, but this offense just a little too good, isn't it?
They really are, because no matter what you do to make an adjustment on defense, they've got an answer for it.
And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. Still throwing the football here, even with the big lead.
Yeah, I know you and I came up in a different era, and we think about sportsmanship and all that. Other people think about fantasy points and getting their numbers. That's all they care about right now.
Here's Allen on 1st and 10. Flushed out right. And he just throws this one away. Smart decision here this close to the end zone, and it brings up 2nd down.
Well, I like that right there. Not only was it the right play, throwing it away like that, frankly, I think it was the only play.
Yeah, got outside of the pocket, realized he had nothing, just chucked it free.
Yeah, live to fight another down, right?
To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Allen. He will find Davis on the left side, complete. And it looks like he'll be just a yard shy of the 5 here as he's out at the 6. 5 yards, now it's 3rd and 5.
Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect them to run the ball in this situation, Brandon, but with this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swings, slants, quick outs, things that they consider safe.
Rolling to his right. And it's caught. Touchdown, Bills. No breathing. With another touchdown, number 24 on the year. And the Bills extend their 4th quarter lead, and they are closing in now on a 14-win campaign. Extra point by Bass, up and good. And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21. After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Back on offense, New York gets set to take over. And they unfortunately are staring at a mini losing streak developing, trailing here in the 4th quarter. This would be their 3rd straight defeat. On first down, Wilson. It's complete to Cole. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds.
This defense has certainly had an outstanding second half, haven't they? I know they just gave up the first down there for the offense. They're hoping that that's something that they can jumpstart with and maybe start to move the ball a little bit better. But it's been tough sledding for them here the entire second half.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Here's Wilson. And the Bills are going to get him as he goes down. Ed Oliver forced his way through, drops him for a loss of 10 yards. And you hate to say it with a rookie quarterback. He's done some good things, but overall, I think a little bit overwhelmed back there, hasn't he?
He certainly has. But in his defense, he hasn't had a lot of time to throw the football. You like the way I said that? In his defense.
In his defense. I got it.
You see what I did there?
Yeah, he needs better protection, that's for sure. And just 3 yards on the catch there. He couldn't get away. And they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here. From the shotgun, Wilson. He's going to float this one deep right side. He's got him in. Complete. And all the way in. Touchdown, New York. We saw this plenty last year in college. He loved to take his shots downfield, and that throw, that was a thing to behold there.
And that is absolutely demoralizing for a defense because you've got the offense on the ropes. It's 3rd down. You're trying to get off the field, and then wham, you have a letdown in the secondary, and you give up a big one.
Extra point tacked on by Lambo, and the lead will be cut down to 14. So that drive, 4 plays. And it's finished off by a New York Jets touchdown. 2 scores down, 3 timeouts left. Still a chance if they can somehow get this one back. Now the Bills are going to use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. 2 scores down, 3 timeouts left. Still a chance if they can somehow get this one back. And the Bills are going to recover. Well, 4th quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
The improv on the scramble there gets him 6, and it'll be 2nd down.
Now, that was not a bad scramble there on 1st down. He didn't force it, nor did he throw it away. He was able to take off, and now he made it a very manageable 2nd and short.
Working with his 2nd and 4. To throw, it's Allen. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Well, you most certainly don't want to go 3 and out here and get the football right back because your friend, Old Momentum, he's wondering if he should change sidelines about right now. And if you don't convert here, guess what? He's going to make the trek to the opposite side. And all of a sudden, you've got a battle on your hands.
Allen from the gun on 3rd down. And intercepted. Maybe the turning point they need. Marcus May with a pick. And the Jets are right back in this football game. 2-score game here in the 4th, and that pick pick, it kind of keeps the door ajar, doesn't it?
It does, and you wonder about their strategy because with a 2-score lead, you would think maybe you're just sitting on it trying to drain some clock. It's almost like they felt like, hey, we get...
That's to Davis. He's got it. Touchdown, New York. But sometimes you just got to marvel at how these guys can throw the football. He gave that everything he had, and it was right on the money. Point after by Lambeau, up and good. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this fourth quarter. And Lambeau now, after the touchdown, he'll kick this one away. Taking it about the 1. And he had no room to run as he's tackled down inside the 20. Back now on offense, the Buffalo Bills. After the touchdown we just saw, we have a brand new ball game. And now look at the situation. You got plenty of time on the clock. Defensively, they have 3 timeouts. So do you run the football here or do you throw it?
I think you have that full conversation with your offensive unit, and you tell them, here's the situation. They've got all of their timeouts, so we are not going to play this conservatively. We've got to attack them. We've got to make them use those, gain the ground that we need in order to put this game away. If you think we're just going to run it 3 times and punt it, you got another thing coming.
Yeah, and by the way, also the 2-minute warning in play, so essentially 4 timeouts left.
They have to be aggressive here.
So it's Bills football here as we get you reset. They've got a 2nd down now as they search for a way to get this one to the finish line. And now right out of the 2-minute break, we'll get a timeout used defensively with 1:56 to go. Now this is a big 3rd down, and you'd have to think we'd see a timeout right away if they can't stop him here. Now Allen. Flush to his right. And he gets this up just shy of the 30 to the 29 before he's out of bounds. That is an absolute backbreaker. That was a design passing play, wasn't a draw. You think you got him stopped, good coverage downfield, and he's able to pick up the first with his legs. Defensively, that kicks into your psyche and hurts a little bit, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and here's the thing. Anytime you give up a first down, it hurts you psychologically, but it hurts more when they get it this way because you've covered everything. He didn't have any place to throw the football. He takes off running and picks it up anyway, and now you have to stay on the field for an extra set of downs.
And really could have used that stop trailing here in the 4th. On 1st down, here's Breida. And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. Now the Jets going to use the 2nd of their 3 timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. So the 1st down run lost a couple. Now they come up 2nd and 12. Allen to throw. They'll roll him out right. 1st down and more for Allen. And Allen will have the 1st down as he's able to slide to avoid the contact at the end. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
Back to throw. Allen, he'll buy some time right. Oh, what a heck of an effort there as he'll make the diving catch. Well, clear running situation, trying to take time off the clock. You ran the previous play, set that play action up nicely.
Boy, did they ever, because they'd shown the ability to run the football. So now you lose your keys as a defense. You dive for the running play.
And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Snags it for the pick. And the Jets are right back in this football game. A critical error there in a tight game of the 4th.
All you talk about is taking care of the football, and especially with a lead here in the 4th quarter, turning it over, now the door is open for the opposition.
Just in general, when you're passing in the 4th quarter with a lead, no matter at what point, you got to be super careful.
Got to be careful, and sometimes you can be so careful that you end up running yourself into an error.
And he finally goes out of bounds across the opposite 40. Big yardage that time for the Jets. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. Here's Wilson. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. Well, we saw a close game that kept us on the edge of our seats down to that final whistle. And right before that final whistle, defense with one last exclamation mark there, getting the sack to end it.
I love how...